I'm just going to see if I can pull the chat up here. Not seeing the chat here yet. So, not quite sure what's going. There it is. There's the chat button. No, I don't want that. How's everybody doing tonight? Make sure we're all good and live here. Awesome. The screen's all looking good. Let me know if you're here. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes here and we'll see what we got. Hello, everybody. Not sure, if the notifications went live, so just kind of checking my phone here to see. Hi, Mom. So I am live. At least that's good. That's what I needed to know. Can you hear me okay, Mom? Because it's been 2 weeks since I've done this, so I'm making sure everything's good. I'm trying to hide the camera here so you guys aren't blinded by it. Hi, Penny. How are you? I'm glad you made it home safe. All right. Mom says you can hear me live. So, well, last week I had the honor and pleasure of being able to go to the Brutus Monroe store for the first time for the Create Your Own Ending event, and it was fabulous. And I'll talk more about it as we craft, but I thought I got to teach a class. It was my first hybrid class where I taught in person and live. And I thought I would show you the cards we made. Well, first, this is the stamp set. It's available now. It's called the Sun Lovin' stamp set. And try not to get the shine on there. And it has coordinating dies. You have to forgive me. A couple of my stamps are upside down on here. And the cards I taught and made. Oh, thank you, Susan. This was the first card we made. I'll bring that up a little bit. I don't have these on card bases because I made these samples like the night before I left. I was kind of half asleep. But this was the first card we made. And then this was the second. This is a very version of the second card. I don't have it on a card base. We actually did it on the card base, and this was the second one because there was a stencil as well. Here's the stencil. So thank you. I had a lot of fun making that and teaching them. So anyway, that was a quick recap of that. But if you have not been able to do an in-person event with Brutus Monroe and you are able to, oh, please do so. The Merrymaking event, I think, is about half sold out. It's coming up in September. It was so much fun. We ate so much food. We laughed and laughed and laughed. And I even bled. I poked myself on something and it was funny. It was funny. So anyway, tonight I am going to use the Outta stamp set, which is part of the July release. And let's see if I can get that a little bit closer. I'm still learning the camera jangles. So it's these fun sunglasses. And then there's a coordinating dies. And we're going to use that. And then essential elements, easy elements, I think is what this is called. This was from Shannon's class. And it's every die you could possibly need to make some fun layers in your card. So I thought maybe we'd use some of those. And then I grabbed the Vintage Patio paper collection. So I don't specifically have a plan in mind, but I thought we would just have some fun. I thought maybe I would kind of take a play off one of Shannon's cards a little bit, and we'd play with that and start there. So what I'm going to do first is choose some paper. And this Vintage Patio collection is so fun. It's got all these fun tiles. And I thought maybe we'd find one that kind of made me feel like sunny glass. Let's use this one. I think this is fun. This blue. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. Thank you, Penny, for the links. That is amazing. So I got to meet Penny for the first time, and that was great. I hadn't met Penny before. We just chatted online in some of the classes, and everyone was so much fun. It was so great to put some faces with names and names with faces, of course. I am not always the best with names. I usually am better with your people's faces. So we've got that. And so we could do that directly on here. Okay, I did not. This needs to be, I cut that down a little bit weird. I need to cut that down a little bit more because I'm going to mat it. So it's on 4. I did 4. So this, did I do 4? Yeah, I did. No, I did 3 and a quarter, 3 and 3 3/4. So we're going to do this to 5. You were virtual in 20 because you missed it because I didn't get, oh man. And you've loved looking at the pictures. Well, you know what, Susan, I haven't made any of the cards myself yet. That is my goal this weekend, is to play a little bit with them and make some. I'm excited to make the box from Shannon's class, and I just want to play with all of the stuff, all the things. This is the only die set that I even have cut apart already. So I hope you're feeling better and it wasn't anything too serious, and enjoy. It'll be fun. You can go back and watch as much as you want. This is just some scratch paper that I have. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to make a mat. Thank you, Penny. Yep, the Easy Elements dies. And I'm going to kind of take a little twist, like I said, off Shannon's class with it, I think. So 4 by 5 1/4 to make a nice little mat here. We're going to do that, and then it's going to be on the mat, and then we'll have the nice white border. But I think what I want to do is we're going to cut out this burst. We kind of did that with one of Shannon's cards, but I wanted to make sure that my sunglasses would fit in there, and they will. So we're going to use this burst, which is the second largest burst. And I am going to bring my big die cutting machine over to the table. Hi, Ellen. How are you? I was just talking a little bit about going to create your own ending and how much fun we had. And oh, it was just great. I had all the foods. I bought all the things. It was so much fun. I had to send a picture to my family because I'm a talker, obviously. Yep. Search CYOE23 if you want to see the goodies that we crafted with. Yep. And you'll find everything that we crafted with. I believe everything is in stock, or if there's a couple things that are out of stock, they're going to be in stock quickly or soon. I'm not 100% sure if the big sentiment set is in stock right now. And I know one of the paper pads was very low. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And we're going to stick that on here. And then we're going to do our sunglasses. And then I think for a fun little trick, we're going to grab another one of these dies here. I actually think I want to use these arrows, and I don't know if I have another blue the same color. So what I'm going to do, it was a lot of creative fun. We had so much fun, and I loved seeing people's end results when they changed it, made their own ending, and whatever they did, they either used paper or a different color or different glitter or just all sorts of stuff. It was really a lot, like I said, a lot of fun. So I'm going to cut out these arrows, I think, from the blue, and maybe this piece. So like I said, what we're going to do is when we cover this up, you're not going to see those pieces. So I'm going to tape those down, and that's a fun way to use up some scraps and have matching paper. The Dreamcatcher stencils. Okay. Oh yeah. Come on, Daryl, get to work. I have to tell him he's got to get to work. I know they had a couple things that I think, like I said, a friend of mine that did it virtually was looking for one of the paper pads, and they weren't online at the time, and I knew they were coming in, and I think there was only like 3 or 4 left. So I grabbed her one and got that for her and brought it home. for her. Um, but I knew they were coming back in stock. So I haven't really had a chance to look too much online because I've been playing catch up from being gone. But I did kind of peek around a little bit today at a few things because I know there was a clearance sale going on. I believe it's still going on. Like I said, it's playing. I had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to come home, which is 2 o'clock my time. So it was 3 o'clock Pittsburgh time. And then, well, I didn't have to. I just did because I flew back, or Shannon and I shared a vehicle on the way back to the airport because our flights were like 3 gates apart and an hour apart. But that would be 2 o'clock our time. And then by the time I got through and landed and drove home, I literally laid on the bed. Hi, Tia, you're out on the East Coast now. I was exhausted. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to tape this down or glue this down. And actually, I'm going to change my mind. We're going to pop this up a little bit. And I still have some of this really inexpensive foam tape from my dollar store that I'm trying to use up. It's super sticky. So I'm going to use that up. We're going to pop it up a little bit, give it some dimension. But we ate pizza and we had these pizza filled rolls that had cheese in some. There was some with buffalo chicken, the crafter. Oh my gosh, yes. I was helping clean up afterwards when, because we were in the one production room and we just had everything on the counter. And I was like, Heather, everything is right here off the tables that we had to take off. So it was so much fun though. And let's see, what else do we have? Christopher's mom got us, we had fresh popcorn one day from Pittsburgh, which I took a little bit home and actually had some for a snack today. I had some of the kettle corn for my snack at about 2:30 this afternoon. And we had an ice cream truck. I haven't been to an ice cream truck and so much fun. So on my Instagram, which is Sugar Cards, it's kind of funny. I don't do live Instagram reels, or I don't know if it's really a reel, but I did kind of post that I'm like, Christopher got an ice cream truck. And as I was going towards the ice cream truck, the ice cream truck driver kind of ducked out of the way. So I was like, oops. So I thought I shut my camera off, but I actually took my hand and swung it down. I was holding my phone like right here. And if you listen carefully, at the very end of the video, you can hear me yell very loudly the kind of popsicle I had. I got a Jolly Rancher. So at the very end, it just says, you hear Jolly Rancher. And it was delicious. Now I'll tell you a little secret. Penny doesn't even know this part. I went upstairs because I was helping Daryl during his make and take. And I was eating my popsicle. And about this much of it fell on the floor. I picked it up and ate it. I was like, 2-second rule. I grabbed it real quick, but you know what? I will tell you, it was so cold. I was like, oh my gosh, it was way too much to put in my mouth. But anyway, I did go out to dinner, and I'm going to wreck the name. Pamantes, I think is how I say it. No, that's not how I say it. It's wrong. I got to look at the name to see it. Anyway, it's a very, very famous, sorry to everyone in Pittsburgh. A little dirt never hurt. Nope. And we got sandwiches. And I had to have Jess take a picture of the sandwich with my mouth wide open because this sandwich was bigger than my mouth. And then I had to take a picture. I had her take a couple pictures of me eating it so I could send it to my family because, they would laugh about. When I was younger, I almost got a Jolly Rancher stuck in my mouth. One of those big Jolly Ranchers. I have a big mouth. Anyway, it was so good. We went back. The other Gina and Shannon and I don't know if Heather, we went back with Donna. We went back and ate there the last night before we left, and I had the cheese one this time. I had the turkey one the first time, but it has French fries on it, and then a vinegar slaw. Oh, it was so good. Okay, so I just used a little foam tape and stuck that up, and see, you're not even going to see those that I cut those out. So when we go to put it on our card base. So I'm going to do that. But this vintage Patio? Is it Vintage Patio? Sorry, I get some of the names kind of messed up because I have so many sometimes that I'm going through my head. It is a fun background set for cards for your bases. So, um, but it was a blast. All right. So I'm going to cut that down. I have that glued down. I don't think I have it quite straight. I might have to cut some of that off. But so there's our card base. And if you don't know, I'm actually going to dump this out. Give me just a second here. I was telling a couple people during the I had found a couple of dies on the floor from Heather's class. We had these little tiny dies that I keep this bowl. I just got it offline. I think I searched Amazon. Somebody said Harbor Freight, but I just as a magnetic bowl. I keep this on my desk, and when I'm done crafting, while I'm live or while I'm crafting, if I'm doing a bunch of stuff, I just throw my dies in there and they hold them for me until I get ready to put them away. Or if I find a random die, I throw it in there. It's very, very helpful. So we've now got these fun little pieces that we can use and put down. I haven't quite decided what we're going to do with them yet, but we've got those. And now we're going to get our stuff stamped out. So looking for some paper here. Actually, oh, that looks like a nice piece. It's got some cutouts in it. We're going to go ahead and just stamp this out. I don't know if I have any. Let's see. I do. Perfect Blend. Perfect Blend is my favorite paper for alcohol inks. I do have a piece here. I'm going to cut it down. And I just keep mine in a job ticket holders that I get offline from a office supply store because they fit in 8.5 by 11. And I stick all these smaller pieces inside. So I'm going to cut this down because we don't need a really big piece. Just going to cut it down to an A2 card size. And I'm just going to stick these back in the bin. So this is the job ticket holders I was talking about. I know it can magnetize my dies. I have had issues with them a little bit. So I don't keep them in there for very long. I just keep them in there while I'm live. So thank you. I do appreciate it. I've had that happen to my needle for my glue. And I used to cut my dies over it because someone suggested that because it will pull the little pieces. I know in particular if you get them stuck on here. So you can see, look, actually there's a couple pieces to a die that when I cut, they're stuck to the magnet. So, okay, this is perfect one. That was a white piece. Now, where did I put my Misty? So I don't like to keep them in there unless it's one that's just a weird one that I can't figure out what to do with. Whew, got warm in my house here. It rained today. I can't believe it. We had rain most of the day. It was beautiful. Now I don't know for sure which one of these we're going to do, so I'm going to stamp out a couple of them. I don't know if I want to do the stars. We're going to do the circles, and we're going to do like the aviator ones here. And I just got those, and actually we're going to stamp out the sentiment. You're out of sight. We're going to stamp that all in Raven Detail ink. I try to put my dies away as soon as I'm done with the project, or if I'm just crafting for myself, like not live or not shooting a video, I usually try to put them away right inside. Penny, it's, you know what, it was very windy. We actually had a lightning strike near us and it blew my phone and my internet for a little bit, and then my computer was the only computer at work that didn't have internet for a little bit, and we were trying to figure that out. Well, I got that fixed, but I couldn't print, which is fine. I really didn't have a lot to print, but I didn't have a phone. So we had to have the internet guys come, and there was like an ee sound, but very much more annoying in the background. And it sounded like one of our surge protectors has a battery pack or something on it, and they had to fix that. So he got that fixed for us before he left. And then I just was on the news before I came. In Illinois, there was a couple of tornado warnings out that direction. So I hope everyone's safe in Illinois, all our crafty friends. Okay, so here comes the dumbo. It was a little annoying, but I just got my phone out. I could use my phone and for about 5-10 minutes and just kind of, I don't know. I read an article about the movie Schindler's List and some of the history behind the actors and the filming of it, which was very interesting. And then the internet came back on and they were like, "We got it," so we fixed it. But I think I'm going to do some fun color. I don't know what color I want to do for sure because I want to get away from the blue. I think I want to pop a color. So I am going to grab, let's see, I'm going to use some Olo markers here. Maybe pink. We'll do pink. Your desk is filled with random paper scraps. I sometimes leave my dies or my stamps in my MISTI until I'm done. But I usually try to put them back right away. It kind of depends on my situation, but when I'm crafting. But yeah, random pieces of paper here too. So look, there's a couple pieces right there. Um, and then depending on the day, if I'm crafting a lot, I will just keep going. But if I'm not really crafting a lot, sometimes like, okay, I'm done. And I go sit down and watch some TV for a while. And then I come back and clean up because I don't want to leave it or I will have a mess. So I am using RV02 and RV01, which is from the Olos. And we're just going to kind of give a little pops of color. I'm not going to give really a lot of blending because they're little. I think what I might do is I might give them the lighter shade of pink for the glasses. But I got to come into Brutus Monroe a day early. So I was there on Thursday, mostly because I live in a small town. So I wasn't sure if I'd get there in time for the event on Friday, plus having somebody pick me up. So I flew in on Thursday and got there about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And Jess took us for a quick tour of the city, just a quick drive through of the city. And then we went in and kind of did whatever we needed to help do. Um, there was little pieces here and there to do, some instructions to finish typing up, um, the um, help set up a few things here and there, and just kind of whatever they needed, kind of peruse, get a tour because I had never been there before, see the store, meet everybody because Christopher and Daryl I had met. I had met Christopher a couple years ago and then last fall again. And then I met Daryl last fall at an event, but I hadn't met Heather, Jess, or any of the other staff. So that was fun. And then you know, Friday came, we kept helping kind of with the setup, and I did a little shopping on Friday, and then the event started. So like I said, it was so fun. I love meeting people and helping people, whether I'm actually helping them or actually teaching them. It's a lot of fun. So I used the RV02 for the outside and I used the RV01 for the inside. I don't know if I'm going to use two sets of glasses, but I'm going to leave these ones blank for right now because I might actually, no, we're not. We're going to paint them the light color. Again, I did the shine marks in the dark color as well, but we are going to paint the wavy lines with the pink, and then I'm going to paint over them with some sparkle, which I was talking to a couple of the people at the event because I go by sugar cards on Instagram and Facebook. That is my crafty page. Yep, Heather is. I like talking with Heather. I've talked to her quite a few times on the phone. Now, and obviously in person. I accidentally, I think I had to call and talk to Jess, and I got Heather, and I said no, I way back, I got the wrong person. It was just funny. So, but yes, Heather's super helpful. I love talking to her. We probably should, if we say her name again, she might show up. Okay. I forgot what I was going with that. I painted this all yellow, and then I'm gonna paint. I was talking about my name, Sugar. So obviously it's a play on my name because my name is Candi. Spelt Candi. There's no Candace. It's Candi. And when my boyfriend and I first started seeing each other, he called me sugar a lot. So I thought that would be a fun way. And then what I was telling to tell somebody is that I don't use this enough, but I should, because in my thoughts, the bling, whether it's the glitz, the sparkle, that's the sugar on your cards. So that's, the fun bling. So to me, that's just another little kind of thing. It's the icing, the sugar, the best part. So I am just taking some pearl aqua pigment and I'm just painting the swirls to give them some. Uh-oh, that's crazy. Oh, Candy with an E. Candessa. Is that how you say it? That's cool. My dad wanted to name me Candy. My mom wanted to name me Susan. So I'm Candy Sue. And not Candace, just Candy Sue. All right. I think I'm going to paint this one fast too. We're going to do him in maybe I don't know if I'll do yellow. How about this lime green color? Candessa. That's pretty. I've not think I've heard that before. I like that too. I'm just going to use, this is YG20 or 2.5. Do that on the outside edges here. This will be a nice another little pop of color. Then we'll decide which one we like better for the card. And there we go. Sorry, I get a little quiet sometimes when I color because I'm concentrating when I have these fine detail areas. But we had a little bit of, it's been a crazy week already. And I say that because I got in and actually called my honey from Chicago and said, guess what? I'm going to be in an hour earlier. For some reason, my phone did not translate it to Central Time Zone. So that was exciting. But yesterday was, and today playing catch up at work, pretty calm. These colors are very similar in hue. So not too much of a difference. But today, just getting ready. My honey took out the dog out to run, and he texted me and he said, we had a crisis averted. He said, we were out in the woods and we came across our first skunk. And he got them scared away. They were kind of circling each other. He said, my dog looked like he was going to go for it. But he got them scared. He got their attention, kind of scared them, and they both ran different directions. But he said when they got in the car, he realized he had gotten just a little bit of a whiff. He's like, I should have realized it because the dog went running. My dog Fletch, he went running right for the grass and started kind of rubbing himself all over and rubbing his face. And so he gave him a bath. And he said, we got upstairs and my dog loves baths. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Sorry, that was really loud, I think, in the camera. And anyway, he said he loves baths. So he jumped right in. He goes, he put his face in under the faucet and he just left it there. So this won't take too long to dry, this painting, because it's just a little bit, but I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I think there you go. You can see a little bit of sparkle. Did you get a bunch of rain down in Cedar Rapids today, Lisa? Or in that area anyway? It rained pretty good here, so that was nice. We needed it. All right, so I've got these. I'm going to go ahead and find the coordinating die. I'm going to just take my scissors and use my little mini die cut machine to cut this out. And then we'll see what we got. Ooh, I'm sorry, getting warm. Good, it did here too. We needed it. I usually store my dies on magnets, but I hadn't had a chance to do that yet. So I literally just cut these apart. I was like, oh, it's 6:30. I better go get those dies. I don't want to be cutting dies apart while I'm live. So cut these apart. I'm using the Out of Sight set, Lisa, and then I'm using the Easy Elements, which is from, it was from Shannon's class. And I used these 3 dies and this squiggle spiky circle die, I guess would be what it is. Some kind of a little bit of a play off one of the cards she taught. We cut a window in, but changed up. It's not exact. So yeah, I would like to have stopped down and taken some extra time in Cedar Rapids on Monday, but I was just tired. I needed to get home. So I'm coming back down at the end of, I'm coming down in September. I can't come for the crop, but I will be there that day because I have a class reunion that day. So I might pop over and see who's there and say hi before I go to my class reunion. So, all right. This is my little die cut machine. Cut these out. I love the Brutus Monroe dies because they are so easy to cut everything out. They line up pretty perfectly. Look at that. Just perfect. I very rarely have one that doesn't match very well. So we've got this, and I think that we're going to stick our sentiment right on there. You're out of sight. It fits perfectly on there. Look at that sentiment. And there are several, I think, of these sizes in this die set. And I just used the smallest one. There are kind of some sentiment, rounded sentiment strip circles there. So there are several sizes to go. The tags, there's two of these bigger tags. We've got some asterisks, and then we've got these couple of fun arrows. So a very versatile set to add to your collection. So, oops, I guess I had that off screen a little bit. A little corner. This piece is fun because you can, Shannon used it kind of in class where we cut kind of an angle, and then she used that to cut that fun shape. So I think we're going to do that. And then trying to decide, do we want to put in one pair of glasses? I think, I don't know, what do you guys think? The pink ones or the green ones? I don't think we want to do two pair. I mean, we can do two pair, but I'm thinking one pair would be better just to stick in here. But thinking maybe the pink pair is kind of fun. I like the kind of the colors of that. So I'm going to stick this up on some foam tape. You like the pink too? Okay, good. That's what we're going to go with. And I'm going to just use some more of this cheap foam tape that I got, like I said, from the Dollar Tree, trying to use it up. Or not Dollar Tree, but like the dollar store here in my hometown. And stick those on. We're going to pop that up just a little bit in that circle. And then we'll add a little bit of, we might do something different. I might do something different. I might not use those arrows. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put them at an angle here. Yeah, I'm going to put them at an angle. And I like how they just kind of nestle right in perfectly into these. There's a little bit of a, right here, they're kind of, I might tuck it under a little bit. Tuck it under the little tips there. And then we've got this, we're going to glue down. And it was fun, I guess. You know, I don't have a favorite class. I don't have a favorite meal. Everything was just amazing and wonderful. So I hope to go back again. You know, I mean, it was fun. And like I said, if you have a chance to go in person, definitely. But even if you don't, the virtual events, you know, we tried to be super helpful watching with moderators and, you know, somebody trying to help. Somebody was trying to sit at the computer and answer questions and all that good stuff. So we had all the instructions typed up ahead of time. The videos for the make and takes were done. I think, you know, the one thing is is that, you know, with media, oh, that I moved it. Can I peel it up and fix it? I don't want it at an angle. Oh, okay, we're gonna fix that. You know, sometimes the uploading of the videos took a little bit longer, but that's the internet, you know. All right, so we're gonna move that a little bit. We're gonna make sure we cover up anything. So we've got that. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and add the arrows, and then we'll add some pink gems. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add the little blue arrows. I'm not gonna think about it too much. I'm just gonna add them. I'm going to do all 3 of the arrows because they're, you know, 3 is the magic number, right? I think we'll do this one like this. Ah, I have to ask. You have a bracelet on. I'm the same. Yes, thank you for asking. Yes, this is from Miss Lily. She gave these to me. I kept it on the whole time I was gone. And when I came home, because my dog will eat it, I leave it on my desk so I can wear it when I'm crafting. So Miss Lily made these for us. Lily was a sweetheart. And if you ordered anything on and the order was fulfilled on Saturday, you'll have to check your package to see if Miss Lily decorated it or not. Because she was decorating some of the shipments before they left with stickers and drawing, you know, a little happy mail on them. So thank you for noticing. I'm going to put one arrow down this way, and I'm going to put those 2 up that way. And I think to add some extra bling, it was fun. Okay, so this is the funny part. Lily didn't know I was going to be there for some reason. She must not have heard or something until she got there that day. She was so excited she was going to meet Shannon, and she knew, you know, that some of the other people, she knew obviously some of the people from the store because she'd been there before, but she didn't know I was going to be there. So after found out she was going to get to meet Shannon, she was like, I get to meet Candi. And I laughed, you know, because I knew they were upstairs. So I came up because I had been downstairs, where the classroom was. And I came up to, you know, say hi and mingle with everybody and, you know, meet people. And she kind of looked right at me as her mom's telling me, and she took off the other direction towards the front of the store. So, and I had my name tag on, but I don't know if she didn't, and I swear she looked right at it. And I don't know if she'd ever seen me on a live because I haven't been on camera very often, just recently. And so I don't know if I don't know if they're available. She's, you know, Gina's been able to catch on live. Sometimes on Wednesday, I know she's busy, you know, she's got a couple kids. So, um, anyway, so she left. So I laughed. So I waited a while, you know, I was talking to a few people. I met up with a lady, and she was like, what's your last name? And I told her, and she's like, I think you sold something to me once. So we had destashed a couple of stamp sets to each other. It was kind of funny. So we had, you know, messaged back and forth, but had never met. So that was fun. Well, then I walked up to the front of the store where everyone was getting ready and finishing up and talking with a couple of the employees, and Lily sitting behind the desk helping. And I start looking at her, and she's kind of just staring at me. And I mean, my name tag is this big, you know, I'll show you. So we all had like as you can see on the small camera, but this was my name tag. So I wore my other ones because I got one when I joined the team, the design team, and then when we had another Create Your Own Ending, and Christopher had sent us them. I think my first Create Your Own Ending. So this was the ones we had, and yes, I earned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow stars from Miss Heather. But I was wearing this, and I mean, so it's right there, and of course she's sitting and I'm standing, so it's like right in her face like this, and she's just kind of staring at me. Now, granted, she drove with her mom and a friend, so I started walking up towards her, and I kept closer and closer and closer. So I thought, and I kind of told her mom, I said, I hope she doesn't get creeped out. And I just got super, super close to me, or her, and she just looked at me and she was like, oh my gosh, Candi. And I said, sorry, I just thought, you know, but I don't know if I was the gold star winner, but I did get a couple gold stars. So, all right, so there is we're gonna add some pink. I'm just kind of twisting it a little bit so you can see some of the shimmer from the pearl. But so this is my Lily, and I will be wearing it whenever I can. Like I said, I can't wear it all the time because my dog likes to chew on anything on my arm, all my hair binders and all that stuff. So I am just going to use some of the Jewels mix. This one is the brights. I know Christopher uses the neutrals a lot, but I thought we'd use the brights. It's got this nice bright pink that kind of ties in. It's a little brighter than our sunglasses, but it'll work. And I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and put one right here and right there and right there. I think that'll be a good spot. And put this big one right there. And then, okay, got a teeny tiny one. We're going to put the teeny tiny one right there. And then let's see if we can get a really big one. Put that right there. And then maybe we'll put a couple of blings. Lisa, I know. I use them all the time and you can't even tell. They take, you know, there's a million of them in there. Now, I didn't pick one up when I was there. They have a Halloween one, and I would like those too. And I think there's a holiday one, but I think those might have been out of stock. I'm going to add 2 here. And we'll put 1 up in here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 7. So we'll put the 1 there, and then I'll put another one right here. But they're kind of my go-to if I can grab them. Let's see if I can pop this one over. Got it. So we add just a little bit of pop of that pink. Hi, Donna R. Don't worry about it. Not one bit. Oh, they all are in stock. Oh, see, I didn't see the holiday ones when I was there. I'll have to add those to my cart. And the holiday and Halloween ones, because I've got the brights, obviously. I don't use the brights as often. I usually try the neutrals. Here's the neutrals. And I use these a lot, but you obviously, it doesn't look like it. They're fun to use. They're beautiful. They got lots of shine. So there we go. We've got our first card. We've got about 15 minutes, so maybe we'll just kind of play with cutting up a quick couple of backgrounds and throwing some cards together. I've got this other pair of sunglasses here that we can kind of mix with. So we've got this card. And I've got this other pair of sunglasses. Let's see. Let's choose another. We'll choose another piece out of this vintage. I don't know if I want to do a blue. What are we thinking? Thanks, Mom. But you have to love it. You're my mom. Just kidding. I'm kind of thinking we'll go with a monochromatic look with this kind of green, but they don't really pop. Maybe this green. Oh, 2 left in each. It's okay. I'll wait till the next time. I do have to place an order, but I mean, I shouldn't have to place an order, Penny, right? But I do. Just because there's always something I'm missing that I missed out on. Okay, so 4 1/4. So I'm gonna do 4. I might actually do this one again at 3 3, and then 5 and 5. So 5 3 3. So it's the same size. You're having a cold wave. That's what it's like outside here, but it's still humid, but it's cold. And I'm just going to go through and we're going to grab a green. I think we're going to grab this green. Looks like a green mix. Even though it doesn't quite match my green, but I'm okay with that. And then maybe this time we will cut out using, actually, you know what we'll do? We'll use one of the, this will be another take kind of after Shannon's card here. I'm going to cut this right out of the middle. I am going to just grab my die cut machine. We're going to cut this out. And thanks for playing along with me tonight, guys. I know I promise next week I'll definitely have more things thought through. I just didn't have a whole lot of time since back, so I thought we'd just play and see what happened. It's nice to have a nice pattern paper pack like this vintage patio that can do a lot of the crazy work. Not crazy work, detail work. Is that maybe the word I'm looking for? The one thing that was so fun, I think, about being at the store in particular was the fact that I could see all the cards from the design team, because I see them, like I see them before some of, they're on social media and we have a, so we share them with each other and stuff. But some of them, the pictures just do not do them justice. They were just phenomenal. They were so fun to just look at. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is even more amazing in person. So was really fun. Okay, this was not cut straight. I just cut this down to kind of a matte size. It looks like it's still not quite there, so we might have to cut it down a little bit farther. Okay, so I wanted it 4 1/4, but it feels like it's, oh no, I want it 4. That's right. I'm sorry. Math is hard. Crafty math is even more hard. I am excited. Heather did a never ending card class, and I have never made one. So that is one of the ones I want to tackle this weekend. But I think I'm going to take the instructions, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and mix it up. And I'm going to mix up everybody's supplies with their cards and see if I can kind of, this was so-and-so's class. I mean, Heather's class or Shannon's class. I got to make the cards kind of how, because it's the box, it's the rainbow box, which is great, but just mix them up a little bit and maybe make them. You know what, Donna? I can say the same thing because Heather put me to, that's how I got the gold stars. Heather put me to work. So I was in there cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking. No, I'm totally teasing. It was fine. We made a wall with flowers and butterflies, and Shannon and I and Gina all kind of worked on that together. Before Gina got there, that's what Shannon and I were kind of working on, and then Gina came down and helped us kind of finalize it and help it out, and then we put it up on the wall. So that was fun. So I've got these sunglasses here. I still have the You're Out of Sight. I don't know if I want to do that necessarily. I'm thinking, do I want to do it like this? Sorry, I'm just thinking in my head. What do we want to do? We still I might stamp it right on this. Let's get that and stamp that out. So yeah, we had strong muscles, and then Heather. So Heather wanted me to die cut for her class, and she was teasing me I'd have a big strong muscles when I was done. I'm just going to go ahead and put this one at an angle on this. I think that's kind of fun. And we're going to just stamp that down quick. Nice thing about doing things on an angle is that if you don't get it quite straight, it looks like it's on purpose, right? No, it was fun. It was helping on the sides, a little bit here and there when I needed to, if somebody needed some extra help, or running errands through the store, grabbing something from upstairs. Somebody was like, oh, I don't have a blending buddy. Can you get me mine? I had mine set aside, or just anything was great. It was fun. So we've got this, and then thinking from this stamp set, we need to add a little something here. Thinking maybe we'll add a couple of these. Maybe we'll add I don't want to add a white paper clip. Let me think here. What are we thinking? Maybe we'll cut a couple of these little asterisks out. I do like this ink splot thing here though, but that's more, we're not going to use that right now. Let's see here. We've got, this looks like the same color, so I'm just going to cut a piece down. I could have cut this out of the background, but I didn't think that far ahead. So what these pieces all are is a friend of mine. I crafted with her earlier this year, and she had taken all of her cardstock that she's had forever, colored cardstock, and she cut it all down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So they were ready for matte layers. And so I did that with a bunch of my scrap paper I've had around forever. I was a cheerleading coach, so I have all of this craft paper that sits here and not being used. And so that's what I did with this. So this is what it is. Oh, I was a ball of energy. Thanks, Mary. The visual I get is a bunch of older women with extremely over. Yes, that's us. Woof. Thank you. I have fun, and I've been crafting a long time, but the year 2019, when I met Christopher the first time and a bunch of others from the Stamp Junkies, I knew I found my people. I mean, oh yes, it is Mary Alice too. You are right. I apologize for that, Mary. Um, I called my mom and my sister on my way home, and I know I bawled for the whole time I was on the phone with them, and mostly because I was tired, not because I was sad. But I was just like, I found my crafty people. So I have to thank Chris Dayton and the Junkies for having Junkie Fest, because I would never have met Christopher. I mean, I'd heard of Brutus Monroe, but I met Christopher through that, and I started following his, you know, Christopher Nabeling. I don't know exactly how. Chris Nabeling, his lives, and started buying things and just falling in love with the company. And it's made so much fun. So I've got these asterisks. I think we're going to put them around. And then I think what we'll do is we'll add some gems and we'll call it a good night. How's that sound? So we've got this. And I probably could have popped this up, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue it straight down. And I'm going to try to get my sentiment kind of straight by using the lines on my paper. And then I'll use a little bit of this foam tape to pop this up. Have you recovered, Mary? Have you gotten the next sleep? How about you, Penny? Have you recovered sleep-wise? Penny drove a long distance too, so I fortunately flew. My body has not recovered from all the food. Like I said, ate so much. It was wonderful. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that at a little bit of an angle. And then we're going to go ahead and add in some of these asterisks. I don't know if I can say that right. I have some dental work, or dental appliance, and so sometimes certain words get caught when I talk. So we've got that, and I think we're going to add some black gems, and that will be a good night. Oops. I always close up my little jar, so I fell asleep in my chair Monday night, so it felt so good. I did not plan on, I got home about 2 o'clock my time, and I did not really plan. I did fall asleep on the couch. The dog, by the way, I get home and I have a puppy who's 10 months old, and I got out of the car and I knew he was so excited when mommy was home. Tom had told him I was on my way, and he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said anything." And I'm like, "Baby, I'm not gonna be home for 2 hours. You're gonna hear whining." So he cried. So I just parked in the driveway. I didn't even pull in the garage because I knew. And I got out and I laid down on the ground and just let him attack me. And he was so excited that I was home, and that we came inside, and I laid down on the couch and we were just watching TV, and I fell asleep, and he fell asleep, and he kept telling me, like he kept texting me, like, or if I got up, he'd come in and he's like, "Do you need me to take the dog?" I said, "No, he's sleeping. We're both sleeping." So he was super excited that mommy was home. I think I'm going to add a couple more of these little blings up here. I'm going to add 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'll add 1 here, 8 and 9, and then we'll be good. Where did I put the dot? There's that one. But when I went to work yesterday and I came home at lunch, he was all kind of like, "Oh my gosh, you're back, mommy. You didn't go away forever." I've only been gone. I was gone at the very beginning when we first got him. He was too little to remember. Um, I think we barely had him. I don't even know if we had had him a month yet. I was just gone overnight. And then I was gone in April for a little bit. And that was like such a big deal. And then, of course, this was the longest I was gone. So, yeah, that's Mary Alice. That's a long back and forth. That's a long because an hour because that's 2 hours. Thanks, Donna. It was sweet. He's a sweetheart. I came home from work yesterday. When I came home from work, he was sitting on the deck and our little porch area, and he saw my truck, and his tail started wagging, and I saw him pop up before I could even get to around the corner, as he was ready for me to come home. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Hope I didn't talk your ears off for too long. Give you a little bit, and don't hesitate to put in the comments, or if you want to hear more about my trip or what we did. I could talk about that next week. But here are the two cards we made using the Outta site, the vintage patio, the Outta site stamp and die set, the vintage patio um, paper pad, and I will put this on a card panel too. I usually put card panels. A lot of times I send these to the store for a sample, or I'll put them on a card base. And then I use the Easy Elements dies, which were from the closest Create Your Own Ending event. So please check that out. You can go onto the store, CYOE23, to see some of the products that we used and get them. Also look for the Merry Making event. I don't know if it's under classes, but if you search for Merry Maker, it is coming up in September. I think it's half sold out. Thank you very much. Thank you guys very, very much. It was fun. So you guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you next week. I think Shannon will be live with a special guest on Friday night, I believe, at her normal time. And next week, we'll maybe look at some stencils, or who knows? We'll see what I come up with. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having a great night with me. Have a great rest of your week. And don't forget to create your own ending. Good night. Oh, it's pinned under the new products page. Thanks, Penny. Good night.